Welcome back to the NAL as we get set for our 5th and final game of the day and our final match of the group stage. Can't believe we've come this far. Welcome back, Jonas Willinger alongside Foxe and Laxing as we close out day 3 of the Super Week Playday number 9. This one is Darkzero and SSG, a game with some stakes. Darkzero trying to bounce back from their very first loss yesterday, and SSG could jump into 3rd place with an upset win.
Right, I mean, the biggest question for Darkzero, it's the first time that they lost after their amazing run up until SR, so we don't want to see them just fall flat. We want to see that same Darkzero consistency, and hopefully they can bounce back. As for SSG, they're playing for 3rd. 3rd seed plays against Wildcard. Is it that much easier than playing against OXG? That's for you to decide, but at the end of the day, the teams have something at stake that they want to accomplish.
And Darkzero, as you said, the bounce back game. I think that's actually fairly significant going into playoffs. You want to make sure that this team can take loss well and recover from it going into best of 3.
Yeah, I love the point that he made yesterday is, this is the first time Darkzero did experience their losses. How are they going to take it? What are they going to take from it? Are we going to see them start to fall off because they were so hot on their trail? Or are we going to see them still be consistent and be the Darkzero and the Swiss Army knife that we hyped them up to be? It's unknown, but going into this match today against SSG, it's a little bit of a shogi match. The Japanese chess, in my opinion. Both the leaders, the IGLs, really picking their pieces, moving them around either back and forth, making just one abrasive rush. It's going to be a fun game. Again, the standings don't change too much for Darkzero, but they do change for SSG. And like we were saying, who do you want? Pick your poison. You want OXG or do you want Wildcard?
Playing a lot of shogi these days, Lax?
No, not at all. I just threw that for this bit.
All right.
Because we talked about a chess match before. Now we're talking about shogi.
That works. Well, SSG, on the other hand, as we said, 3rd place is definitely the goal today, but really just getting some game day reps against a team they might face in playoffs, arguably that's more important.
Yeah, and you always want more time to be able to pretty much get Newers set up, the team set up around him. And the question that we're always going to be asking is, was Newers a payoff? And I think so, and obviously definitely a better situation for SSG beating OXG yesterday. They ended up winning that trade, so to say. But when it comes to games that we're talking about shogi, I think with SSG, it's just a good old classic football match. I mean, it's just a brotherhood. They just kind of go for it all together, slowly trying to improve themselves. And that's essentially where we've seen SSG get. We find them in a position where they are plateauing like the normal SSG does. They squeak into the playoffs, they make the major event, and then they just have a very fizzled out performance. They come home, and then maybe a roster change happens. Now they're at a position where not only have they adapted to having a slower playstyle in the M80 game, all the players, so to say, are feeling a lot more comfortable, and Newers himself has been playing amazing.
Yeah, you mentioned Newers earlier. We talked about him a little bit yesterday as well. Someone that this roster is really building around and improving behind.
Yeah, and so now with all of those individual aspects, I don't know if that's allowed, but Newers will do it. And so with all these individual aspects that have been added, he actually has been going to the gym. I'm getting stunned, sorry. With all these aspects, SSG has gotten to the point of their plateau. Now they need to decide themselves if they can burst through it, climb to the peak, or if they're just going to fizzle out like the normal SSG does and then come back home and make a roster change.
Yeah, the no shirt is an interesting choice.
It makes me curious that all of SSG has their shirt off. They typically follow one another. They follow suit. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew that was going to be the case. If Newers, out of all people they were going to show had their shirt off, that clearly had to indicate, look at those traps, by the way.
Dang.
That clearly had to indicate the rest of the roster is following suit and playing shirtless. So it kind of goes to your point of being a football game, shirts against skin.
Right, I guess so. Who's the most jacked? Let's find out.
Well, Newers, we gassed him up for really maturing and coming a long way in that interview yesterday. You think this is that next evolution of that maturity? Just nips out for the mat?
Well, absolutely. SSG is like a brotherhood team, so they all do it together. They really thrive and breed just being an excellent player in-game, but out of game. Working out, positive mental health attitude, always being kind to one another in their team. It just makes everything in the game a lot easier to manage when everybody's on the same schedule. I believe they have a rule where it's like you have a limited amount of phone time during a week or something. None of them go on any social media platforms. Border, great place for them to duke it out as well.
Yeah, this is a great map for both teams. I would say more preferably for SSG. This is one of their better maps by far.
Yes.
But again, one thing where we saw DZ shine was really slowing down the aggressive takes, more specifically against the team like M80, where they just couldn't find their stride, especially on those defense. All of Darkzero was just so oppressive. They wouldn't let anything slide in terms of that aggression. And again, sure, we have talked about SSG. They have been known for their aggression, but they have been adopting that slower, passive playstyle. So I am curious if we're going to see that here, because what we've seen on attack so far, it's really transitioned into be an attacker-sided map. So I am curious if SSG can make headway on their attacks where M80 was failing to do.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about DZ being more of a slower-paced team. Obviously, they've adapted so much and learned. But when it comes to a map like Border, we talked about it the last time in that M80 matchup. Oh, we think M80 is going to take it because they're more aggressive. We don't know if necessarily DZ is going to be able to come away with it. And then DZ stunned us. I believe it was a 7-3 win. And it completely blew our expectations out of the water with how aggressive they were able to take positions and then use that discipline to hold them back. So again, the biggest question for DZ is, can they overcome that first loss? Is that mental battle now going to shake them to where matches are a little bit more closer, they don't have as much confidence, or can they supersede that and still be the DZ, maybe second place DZ, but the DZ that has been dominant throughout the whole stage?
Well, that second place DZ, the ultimate question is, do you think they can bounce back and take the win here?
I do think so. I mean, the map definitely favors SSG a little bit, but if we see the same DZ that we've seen all stage, I don't know if anybody is at quite the level as opposed to like SR, because you need to beat DZ with a little bit of mental game, and that's where SR had it. SSG is a lot more brawn. I'm not going to say that they don't have much brain.
This is a bold prediction, Laxi.
Well,
let's back this one up.
So that's the thing. Like I said, I don't have the maps prior. Now seeing that it is Border, I do want to still stick with mine, granted.
Yeah.
But again, it goes into question. Is SSG going to be a lot more passive to allow more breathing room so they don't get over encumbered by Darkzero on those defenses? Or are they just going to be shut down by those defenses, Darkzero? I really want to see them adapt and be able to play a little different pace and style as Siege than what we've seen. Because again, Darkzero shut down M80 on all of their aggressive fronts.
All right,
look at those craps, by the way.
Yeah, we're pointing them out. All the boys shirtless. Our final matchup of the group stage is Darkzero and SSG and Lynx. It's only right if I give you the floor to respond to what Lax had to say about you just a few minutes ago.
I'll take an apology.
Bold of you to think I'll apologize. I've never met a hill I wouldn't die on. But I will say this. Listen, I know I'm missing my propeller. I'm missing my lollipop. This is the best you'll get from me, Gabe. You're correct. It's a very good prediction. Wildcard showed up very well against Orgless. And I'm sure that in the future, whenever I see you make predictions like that, when you get so confident that you're right, and when you are wrong, I know you will handle it humbly and graciously, just like you handled being right today. And that's why we're such good friends. It's because I know I can always count on you to be the bigger person.
I mean, all I would do is ask him how his fantasy's going.
True. How is your fantasy going, Gabe? Oh, that's right.
Well,
You
it's
suck!
Probably a bit of a sore point for Lax there. Yeah.
Sorry,
He picked a pretty ropey team on the old fantasy. I'll tell you what I didn't get today. I didn't get the memo that we could be shirtless, because if I'd have known that, I would have taken advantage. It is roasting tonight inside of the UK.
Oh, it's just like...
We don't have AC, unlike you guys over there. And it's basically the same temperature. And the humidity's off the chart. So I'm cooking, quite literally. But it looks as though SSG are getting ready for a fight. It feels like they're going into a boxing match. Like they feel up for this.
They are quite ready for it. Pretty split down the middle is the social prediction, which I think, well, one, it's two top teams in the NAL going against each other, but also Border could be quite a chaotic matchup. Darkzero, obviously, taking their first loss of the stage to Shopify yesterday. I like Fox's point quite a bit, that you have to have a little bit of brains to beat DZ. And now that I think SSG lack it, but sometimes they override their critical thinking skills and maybe overcook just a bit. But one thing they might like, Ollie, is yesterday, well, in the past couple games, Darkzero, who at the beginning of the stage or going into Super Week had a 70% attacking win rate. They've only won 2 rounds on attack on both maps they played so far. One on Consulate, and to be fair, a still dominant game, but only 2 against Shopify yesterday on Lair. On top of that, on their attacking side, when they have been the best entry team in the league, albeit just a little bit ahead of Shopify, but winning over 60% of their entry engagements, they only won 1 on their attacking side against Shopify yesterday. And on the second half, even though they got 4 out of 6, they still end up losing because Shopify are able to recover some important rounds. So on Border, winning the opening picks is often, even more so on every other map, the name of the game here. Not just to securing map control, not just to being in an advantage position, but often to winning the round entirely. If that trend continues and we can see SSG, when they get to that defense, really press them against the sides of the map, they could face a lot of problems. By the same token, Ollie, I want you and everyone watching to pay attention to Pambazoo. Because this guy runs Border like it's a business. And he is the CEO of that East Stairs especially.
Could that be anything to do with the fact that he's in New Fantasy?
No, he's literally like, no.
You're happy now. You're like, I needed a good game out of Pambazoo, and we're on Border. Like, the stars have aligned for you to retain first place.
I will say, I did see the map, and I was like, oh.
Breathing a slight sigh of relief there, knowing that I am hot on your heels.
It was not slight.
And we put in a serious life performance earlier. We're going to need the same out of Pamba. Let's see how he holds up to this. Fultz already knocking on the door. Heavy on the shields or SSG in round 1 here. Bans, slightly unorthodox. Malusi and Ephenria. That's going to clear lines, clear lanes, so these attackers can just bowl on through with their shields. Do they account for NJR below? Bottom of East Stairs, he's already getting pinched upon. SSG look primed and ready for this fight.
Oh, love this from Benja. Love this from Fultz, too. Just such a clean pinch. It's a full commit by DZ. But Panba, no! My CEO's been voted off the board. 5v3 for SSG. Fultz only losing HP in the process here. And Darkzero forced on a full and eager retreat. One in which SSG are not looking to let up. Only 1 kill for DZ so far. There is dominance, and then there is round 1 of SSG versus Darkzero. 2 shields and not a single ounce of remorse.
There was no hold barred there whatsoever by Spacestation. That was a very impressive round 1. That was the kind of round that you look at and you think it's not out of place in like round 4, round 5 of a team attacking, because everything was just flowy from the start. I felt like I was in the flow state with them. These guys have been warming up since lunchtime. They're ready for tonight. I really enjoy how the coordination for the pinch onto NJR, then the response from DZ to try and save him, or at least salvage something from it, and SSG still come out on top. Fultz got 3 kills, by the way, with the pistol on Blitz.
Just, oh, what a Blitz play from him that round.
Like, just disgusting. Just absolutely barreling him down.
I mean, like, one thing we talked about before the stage started was who, if anybody, because nobody needed to, but who, if anybody, is going to pick up the mantle of the shield from Forest, since he was the go-to shield player of that roster. And something Call even said was that we're actually looking to kind of pivot away from the shields. We'll still bring them, but it won't be as much of a go-to as it was before. And we have seen Fultz in particular bring the Monty. It's actually his most played off this stage. I can't say if we've seen any shield play like that from Fultz this stage.
No, I don't think we have. I can't remember any.
That could just be a 1-rounder. But if that were to become, if half of that were to become consistent, ooh.
You'd have half a round of good shield play.
All right. Benja trying to hit the same play.
Yeah, he didn't get the memo. He thought it was the same strat. What he didn't realize was that Fultz wasn't barreling it down East Stairs this time, and the NJR was just going to dome him instead. Oh, okay. What a shot from Nate.
That's the Brit differential.
Also in my fantasy, by the way.
Shut up.
He's got more kills than Pambazoo right now.
This is so awkward. You're literally behind me. You actually are probably going to beat me after today. Good cutoff from Newers. Was a 2-man push on the opposite side, or, well, perhaps it was 1, and then Newers took a spot. But it's not nearly the net or the basket shot it was before. Nade over the top. Good forces any rotation for the Azami. It's one that Spirits will not be too worried about. Half of top floor in control of SSG, but it's the half where the defenders aren't, and the one that is not above the site. So Pambazu and Spirits will hold their cross for the moment, as SSG look for another way around.
A lot that's slowing SSG down right now. These castle barricades are a bit of a problem. Fultz is just going to try and send it straight into sight, but Citizen is there. Chilling. Inside a shower.
By the way.
I mean, plenty of drones. Plenty of ability to deal with these castle barricades and just kind of choosing not to. Spirits on the vert. Doesn't matter if you're inside a site, J90 with the kit. It's 40 seconds left, and Pambazu and Spirits are still alive. There's a BP on your location. It's going to be super difficult to get a plant down now. He's going to go for the smoke. Start to try and stick it. But Pamba and Spirits surely only seconds away.
Indeed they are. Pamba drops, doesn't push yet. Love the patience. One in court 2. Ooh, he spots that one. Oh, Spirits, he jumps up. Pambazu as well! Vintage J90 1vx. You see Newers cheer at the side of that. This is SSG back in action. Major fumble, followed by a massive recovery.
It's the classic SSG, isn't it? The team of two halves. Very similar to the coin out of the Batman movie. You don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get the hero, you're going to get the villain. Looks like, at least for J90 today, he was the hero of that round. Should have been dead and buried. Easy had so much info, but he just had enough. Found a pocket of space and was able to break his engagements down. I hate to pick on the player that you're really pinning all your hopes and dreams on the fantasy on, but Pambazu was a little bit slow to the...
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
He was slow to the engagement.
No.
You know?
No, stop it. Why are you talking?
Wasn't on contact. Sleep at the wheel, some might say.
You're about to be asleep, I'll tell you that much.
Hope so.
The plane's pulling up right now. Surely.
You got a little Gulfstream waiting on the tarmac for you?
I don't even have a Gulfstream. I got a wormhole opened up. I got Lex Luthor building me a portal right into your backyard. Little customs defense coming out from Darkzero. And a defense, by the way, that was relatively not this defense, but the last round was not really effectively pierced by SSG. Also, again, characteristic SSG speeding up the pace without necessarily doing some of the due diligence to make sure that it works out. Darkzero advantage by it, and it's a huge play from J90. One we can credit, but one we have to acknowledge. Darkzero did have a very solid round, but SSG will take the control that's given to them. Like water on pavement, they find every crack and crevice. And with most of this side of the map barricaded off, well, they have worked their way in, but Nath has gone down. It's no momentum gained for Darkzero. In fact, it's SSG now coming away with it. As charge goes out, as the Blitz looks to hop into the supply window. But unfortunately, again, by himself, nobody by for a trade, and again, disrespecting an angle and a position held by Darkzero. Not really caring that Spirits is up above, holding the vertical angle. Not caring that there was this mirror window that could support them. Benja looks at it now. Would have been useful about 20 seconds earlier when Spirits was shooting your team right across from you.
A couple of players still hiding out in that CCTV room as well. Benja and Newers fairly split up for the time being. Spirits doesn't need to work too hard here to find a great kill over onto Benja. NJR with the closer. SSG cranking it just a little bit too hard there in round number 3. I enjoyed the pace of the early round. It was a goo mine that really undid Fultz as he hopped in through supply window. It was the only audio cue that Spirits needed to be able to pick up that kill. He gets caught with that in his foot. He's limping. He's taking it out. It's all a bad time. Not surprised to see the Blitz ban. Kind of surprised to see the mirror ban.
It's a little surprising, isn't it? I mean, on the one hand, I do understand, you know, as we just saw, that extension from Darkzero was quite nice. They got one Mira looking into CCTV, and then obviously one looking out of it into 90, or into it from Armory. So I liked it. It's a bit of an inventive strat that could be a bit difficult to work through, but also it is just kind of a weird half to gauge. Because, like, okay, you go back to round 2, Mira certainly was a problem there. But was that the big reason why SSG struggled to clear that top floor? I think it was more just a holistic strat thing. It was the castles and the Miras, and the reinforcements Darkzero placed, fully shutting off Fountain, and the Kiba barriers too. So the Mira is certainly one piece of it, and in that round, maybe it was an important one. But I definitely think when we're looking for what maybe SSG would like to see going forward, a Mira ban isn't going to be the biggest issue. That being said, they're also 2-1, so take what you will from what I just said.
I always do. Don't worry.
Okay, my bad.
Let's see if the timeout from DZ is good for them here. Struggling with the pacing, I think, that SSG are looking to bring into this, and SSG playing their typical chaotic play style. Without the blitz now, they're going to be forced into other avenues. Likely the Blackbeard, and at least for the time, that's what Fultz is going to pick. But don't be fooled. Just because there isn't a blitz on the board doesn't mean that things can't be quick. You can still move quickly. There are still other options at playing aggressively or playing in a timely manner. Easy on the flip side, they have lost the comfort that has been that mirror window for them. And JR again looks like he's making his way downstairs. Lion Scan comes out just to disrupt the beautiful overhead view that we were having of the map for a brief time.
Always forget about it, and then you see it and you're like, oh man.
Feels like you're on a theme park ride.
It's like I took a couple shots. Fultz is just like, I'm not having it. Whatever. Another shield. Freebie.
I mean, he's arguably more activated right now, right? Because he was deadly on the blitz, and now he's got a full AR at his disposal.
Wow, that's slower ADS time, though.
Yeah. He got a sight on it?
That's going to trip him up.
Got a sight.
Ooh, that's a good question. Does he have a sight on it? Could we get a... Could our observer pull it up real quick?
I think that's a no.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna preempt that. I think that's a no.
Stefan's like, get a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that important.
Not that important. I did think it was funny that NGR was moving over to those east stairs again after replaying it in the previous round. He's a bit further up now. Got to be a bit more of an active participant. Also,
I was surprised to see him play there as well, to be honest.
Also, I've been asked. I wanted to see what the sight was that Fultz was using on his AR. That's all. That's all I was curious about. We can't really tell that. Well, actually, we might be able to tell. He's about to get in some action. Oh, he's got the hollow. There we go.
Nice to find.
Ooh.
Oh, let's go.
Shout out to me. I called that switch onto the Blackbeard. That was all me. But unfortunately, it's also all looking up Darkzero at the moment, as Fultz and Newers both on low HP, and Benja finds himself in a critical spot in CCTV with a goo mine in his foot. Still finds a kill. Big play from him, and just at the end of the line, pulls it from his foot. It's still Darkzero with the lead, though. He dropped down. Got recent intel on Panda's position, and the Ela will swing. And unfortunately, he's easy pickings. 2 rounds in a row from Darkzero. We learned what Fultz was using on his AR. We sadly did not get to learn what that strat completely entailed.
I was going to say, I'm really glad that we know that Fultz is running the hollow on Blackbeard, and that we didn't get to see the 2 kills that Darkzero got.
Well, to be fair, we saw the initial part of the action.
We saw the start of the action. It was a CCTV attack, wasn't it? And
yes, exactly.
It can be a very difficult place to try and take control of. SSG, they looked a little bit confused in what they wanted. And I think that's in part due to the fact that they've been very decisive when we've seen them playing on that blitz. Look at this play there from player tucked inside a CC. No chance for Benja there in that last gunfight. He was in a world of hurt that whole round. He just seems to be on 1 HP for the entire time with a goo mine in his foot. Bit of a nightmare. But it just seemed a little bit hesitant from SSG, and that's probably just because some of their earlier rounds have been very quick and very decisive, where they've just barreled in and known exactly what they wanted to do. And there was a bit more dancing around there in that previous round, and we didn't see them sort of full commit in the first 30 seconds, which then lead you to think that they're being a little bit more indecisive, which probably isn't the case. They're just setting themselves up for that CCTV clear. But DZ had a very good hold on it indeed. A very equal contribution across the board now on Darkzero, as well as they're all getting involved in some of the action. Can't quite say the same on the side of SSG just yet. Ashen's really been struggling so far inside of this fixture. Player that you kind of need to be one in a good mood, and another, you know, shit-talking your opponent and putting some kills up on the board.
All right, he's been laying off the trash talk, I will say. At least I feel like
I think this is the game where he pulls it out.
this might be revisionist history for me, actually. Also, not a rough stage, just like a rough couple games. Just like, dude, please get NJR out of his spot. Not even because he's doing badly. I just like, every time we cut to him, this man's got a smoke in hand. He's looking at East Stairs door. He loves it. Cannot get enough. Dokubi call goes out. A little bit of fluidity from Newers on the opposite side of the map, but despite that, seems SSG looking to take control of East Stairs, since for the most part it's freely given. Azami just peeking in for a brief moment. Though will spot that Monty through the hole into 90. Immediately backs off, reinforces. This is just Darkzero playing the strat that they basically won the round off last time, save for Janino's 1v3, sans mirror window. And Newers, he'll try to be the thing that gums up the works, but no. Flashes and backs off.
It's a shame as well, because Nath was full white there. J9O going to get traded out. He will be taken down on Striker.
Oh
and JR is somehow still alive, but the D shield, no!
Oh, it's a bit scary. The D shield not great, but it's still a 2v2. Ashen also just waddling up courtyard and well, dies to the guy blue. Oh my god, NJR. Do we find the next one? How about the three-peat? He's only got 6 bullets. SMG shoots fast, but you better hit all those shots. They'll be gone in a moment's notice. Nafe setting up a long crossfire from Vent at the moment, or Workshop, excuse me. Newers has one Dokubi call, though. No flashes, maybe. But if he could try to find a way to back up, he could send out this phone call. Ooh, drone bounces off the wall. Bit of free intel that he will be missing, unfortunately. He's got to be careful, too. The reload might give away the sound cue. Spotting more and more and more. Finally, he will reload. SMG-12, switch. Trying, praying that somebody from Darkzero will peek. But that's NJR on the opposite side of that wall. He's only taking that fight if he knows he can win it. 3 in a row for Darkzero. Uncompromising after J9O gave them the business.
Especially after the timeout as well for DZ.
True.
Super impactful. In fact, have they dropped a round since the timeout? I don't think they have.
No, they've not. They've not dropped a round since before the timeout. Well, I mean, like 1 round before the timeout, I mean.
Yeah. No, I said something in round 1. I said it looks as though SSG have been playing since lunch, like warming up since lunch or something like that. They feel like they've just gotten a little bit cold. I don't know what it is. We're not seeing the same level of confidence. We're not seeing that same level of sort of teamwork on the entry that we have done.
You know what I will
I feel
say?
like a few players have been very disconnected from like the main body of the push.
I'm gonna make a statement, okay? It's not actually a very hyperbolic one either, because I can make those sometimes. I can shoot off my mouth a little bit. This is not actually one of those. Ignore the 1v3, because obviously that's a 1vx, and typically in those rounds, Darkzero should convert them, or the team of the advantage should convert them. The 1 round SSG have won was when they, to be fair, had a very good pinch on a player extended a bit far. NJR and East Stairs. That's totally fine. But then after that, the bulk of that round was made by Darkzero full committing to helping him, and then losing the fights on that side. Most of those were 50-50s that ended up going SSG's way. But the 1 round SSG has won has been when Darkzero literally ran into their attack. Like, ran into their guns. That's not to say they lacked agency, of course, but that's the one time where SSG had the convincing round victory. It was when the defense came to them. Since then, when DZ have not done that, SSG have, as you said, looked cold, looked disconnected, and looked slow.
I would agree. would find it very difficult to counter at that point.
I really am quite something.
Well, I think it's credit to DZ, right? Because they tried to solve the problem by running at it. It didn't work. And
They were
ever
like, okay.
since, they've just not ran at it. They've just gone, oh, we'll just make them play to us.
That-
Yeah, it's border.
That
but we'll
first
make them
round
play to us.
went that way, and obviously I think this is part of the strat. But guess what? Mira came in the lineup next round.
Yeah. And like you say, without J90's huge clutch, we'd be staring at a very different scoreline. Smokes go out, blocks some of the cover inside a site. Newers goes
Ooh.
down. Not what you
Sorry.
want after expending that utility. Where's the backup? They don't know about Nate. They've only got 2 drones left. We only just got into the second half of this round. You don't
Get
need a drone to know that NJR's at the top of East stairs, though.
No, you do not. Spirits gets the refrag pretty easily. That's Diffuser, by the way. Now dropped at the top of East stairs. Ashen just immediately dropping down below. This is a crank moment, and, well, the lever is stuck. Wheel's not greased whatsoever. The axle's not eased. I don't know how a lever works. I don't know what the... I know what the mechanics are and the physics are. I don't know how you construct one. I don't think Jan no clutches this one. That much I am sure of. Low HP. Doesn't know Spirits is here. Just drop the hatch. Just drop it. There it is. 5-1 half. Nope. 4-2 half for Darkzero. Excuse me. I was living in the alternate world where the Jan didn't clutch that one.
Where J90 didn't clutch it, yeah.
4-2 half
Definitely
for
should have
Darkzero.
been. Definitely should have been a 5-1 half, but it is a 2. It is a 4-2 half.
Man, didn't that first round look great from SSG?
Like, take me back, you know? Take me back to that first round. Because that's what... I find it so exciting to watch as well. I think it is one of the best ways that the game can be played. And I think a lot of people will disagree with that. And that's okay. But you can't argue that it makes for exciting viewing. I hate playing in it. I'm
That
no good at
OXG
playing
game?
in it.
That OXG game? That was a lot of that round
Exactly.
1 from SSG.
Exactly.
The, not OXG, SSG, obviously. OXG wildcard.
Okay, Bravo Warden, Azami, Deimos. Getting a little bit of variety in here. Warden getting removed super early by Darkzero.
I was talking about the Grim band coming into play at the beginning of the stage. I was missing the forest for the trees. The Brava band is really like the sleeper band that's made the entrance recently.
Yeah, it really is.
Nice! Good shit, guys. Rob?
That's how
a
Citizen
bit
feels when he
scary.
doesn't have to play against Brava. Oh, sorry, no. That's Citizen's reaction when he doesn't have to play Brava anymore.
Bans Azami. Yeah, nice!
Let's go! No Kibas in CC.
I enjoy that.
I actually got to say, it is kind of crazy that we saw 2 or like a full half of border where Azami was in play.
Yeah.
Even before the ban changes, she was getting taken out like every game on this map. It's kind of crazy that DZ got to play it the whole time. Didn't even play her that much, to be fair, but just on Bathroom Tellers. I don't think it was a big oversight from SSG, to be clear. It's just she gets banned a lot. This is ludicrous from Ashen. What
How
am
much
I
patience has he
looking
got?
at?
Like, this is a
Dude,
patience game.
He better get this kill.
What's he
Come
got
on.
up there?
Ooh, Pamazu saw it. He knew about it.
I didn't even know you could get up there.
I don't know how he got up there. Can we,
That's like jumping on the monitor to get on the wall. I can't do that. I always
Can't be
try,
bothered.
and I just never manage.
Can we just like cut the game? Can we go back and just see how he got up there? just cut the round. Oh my god, Ashen. It is kind of crazy that Ashen is full committing to the CC position with no like Kibas or anything. Because that's the big problem when Azami gets banned. It makes playing aggro in CC so difficult. Back when the map first got reworked in like 2022, like people would put a shield on the desk, then that kind of fell out of favor. But it's always a risk, especially if you have a team that is like ready for you to play aggressive, like Darkzero is. You just get like peppered every time you move near a window. Nice.
Pulse with an early C4.
I'm gonna check what
In
that
the
was.
grand scheme of things, I mean, it comes about the halfway point in the round, but it's still a C4 onto Nath, and we've not really seen full value out of Dokkaebi just yet. I'm not surprised that DZ have gone for the let's just try and probe and see what we can find route. They've got half HP, well, more than half HP out of Ashen. They haven't actually gained any control as of yet. Citizen going to take a boatload of damage there as Pambazoo's the next player to fall. DZ now crashing onto this defense, and if it hadn't been for NJR there picking up 3, the round would be dead and buried, but he injects some much needed life. Question is, can he go further? His location is almost certainly known at this point. Maybe he needs to go outside, buddy up with Citizen.
Oh, my lord.
That's a great kill there. NJR just owns these stairs, doesn't he?
He does. Attack and defense. Nice little Z-ping setting him up there, too. That's just good intel game from Darkzero. Nothing you could fault them about. Making good with 3 drones that many team failed to do with 6 today. And putting it in the 2v2, NJR is single-handedly opening up this round, and he's on drone. 38 seconds left. This guy got 3 kills. He's 9-4. He's on drone. I mean, to be fair, setting up Citizen, it makes sense. Spots another. Citizen's been dealing with this break room position for so long. Unfortunately, NJR's reign of terror comes to an end, but Ashen is down. We have to give a little bit of respect to the 1v1. Newers has a C4 and also the Zotos to stop Citizen's push. But he's a bit trapped in this corner right now. He can't cross. Nade goes out to clear it. If Citizen spots him, this might be rough, but there's the C4. Newers plays it perfectly. Can't fault him for that. Excellent 1v1. SSG take the first.
I don't know if I would go as far as to say excellent. I would say it was good. Like, Citizen was 1 HP pretty much.
I'm just like, what do you want from me?
You trying to gas him up? Are you looking for the best of SSG?
It was a big individual effort from NJR. Like, they lined him up on East Stairs. Lined him, or you get what I mean.
NJR looks really pleased with what he did in that previous round.
That's just how NJR always looks, man.
He never looks any different.
NJR literally could have just worked out like the perfect strat. He could have just got an ace, and that man will look like that. That man only smiles from McDonald's.
He's locked. Oh, he actually saw our action got up. He sort of jumped onto the arm of the couch and then continued to, like, sprint forward and jump up or something.
Everyone take notes.
But it was the couch that's next to the fridge or whatever it is, vending machine.
Please don't, because if Ollie and I play against that in ranked, I'm just
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pre-fire that every single round now.
I'm not having it.
There's no way. If I die from that, I'm just gonna lose it.
Jack is gonna be doing that every single time we play border, just like you did the Pack-Ball spawn peak. Pack-Ball spawn peak, by the way, is you throw an F-Knot outside to, like, docks on Cafe, and then if it gets triggered, you run out of red single window. Then you hop into small bake single window. That's tech, if anybody was curious.
Ashen is really pressing this point, isn't he? Playing inside a CC again, just looking for something a little bit early, a little bit cheeky. Didn't really do him any harm earlier. I mean, he took a lot of damage for it, but he managed to keep his life. It was the opening kill onto Nath that was sort of the undoing of the round. Good read on a lot of information and a lot of utility that's placed there inside a break room. Looks as though Citizen's going to try and smoke off and...
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Like a nade or something that didn't blow?
I actually don't know what that was. Either way, they just immediately sprint on in. Spirits dealing with Ashen immediately. I thought it might have been an impact, but Ashen has obviously just used both of his to put Spirits to 1 health. They are gunning after this Malusi, and he's almost... No! He makes it out alive?! Come on! No, it's not a flawless. I mean, technically it's not. What the hell?
That's the trash talking that we wanted to see.
I cannot believe he's just got out of... I gotta rewatch that. You talk.
No, it was criminal. I'll be honest, it was pretty criminal. So, you've got Citizen on the glass.
Yeah.
You've got the blitz that's pushing through. Ashen should be dead. Like, straight away. And he just finds a pocket. He tucks into the corner. Somehow manages to stay alive. But not only that, the support from elsewhere.
Where was
Spirits
Newers?
pushes in. Newers kills him from Armory Door. Then Ashen gets the kill. Yeah. Then Ashen gets the kill and Fultz is like already on the flank almost.
Yeah.
Like he's in the corridor. It was a great play from DZ, but they just not accounted for Newers to push. They just needed one person on rappel watching Armory.
Nah, and it's also, like, everything you said is correct, but it's like, it's even crazier than that. Not just was Fultz almost up that flank, Benja was rotating up main stairs. Like, the call from SG to support there was, everyone immediately bought in. That is like that. Like we like make fun of SSG a lot for cranking when they don't need to. That is something you got to give SSG completely. The moment a call is given, everyone buys in. There's not any hesitation. And people always kind of like joke about like the system they have. You know, people don't go on their phones. They all work out together. But like, obviously they all have their shirts off. But a team that all commits to the bit of having the shirt off and can introduce the new guy, newers, to doing that same bit. That's the same team that when you give a call in game, everybody's following through. Even if it doesn't work, everybody's listening to it. And that's one of their greatest strengths at the end of the day, even if the call itself might be a bit silly sometimes.
No, but, and that's why they are one of the... Well, they are the team that we look at and say they could be the best team in the world, and they can also be one of the worst teams in the world because it kind of all comes down to the call.
Ooh,
Hop in here from Pamba.
Ooh, what a call there. Just immediately hops in, downs Fultz, finishes him off. Full repel, full plant. It is a rush, and not a hard one to break down. Immediate 5v2. If you thought that clear of CCTV was shoddy, Darkzero have decided to impress you in round 9. Maybe Ashen gets this one. Maybe, and it's gone.
I really hope Pamba types back to Ashen, because that was a really bad gunfight as well. It's only fair. You've typed bad after a bad gunfight that was brought upon to you. If somebody has, you know, if you...
It's a give and take.
There it is. There it is. It's a give and take.
By the way, for anybody that was curious, that was a vent rush combined with a Panbazoo backstab upstairs. And a repellent on the top floor.
It was pretty genius, to be honest.
Beautiful
and
stuff.
I think the Darkzero showing that they can also operate at different levels, very different levels. It's the quickest round that we've seen by far from DZ. Maybe even the quickest round of the game. Obviously, round 1 would be a close second.
Ooh, which one was faster?
I believe the DZ one was faster.
Yeah, wait, what am I talking about?
It felt like it never really stopped. Like, Nath had the plant down before Spirits is getting kills upstairs. Like, it was rapid. I think Pamba had just gotten the kill upstairs as soon as the plant was going down, so it felt quicker anyway. But that aside, DZ showing that they can operate at different levels and the SSG need to be on their toes here. And whilst, yeah, they managed to full commit and help Ashen out in his moment of need in round number 8 inside of CCTV, it isn't always going to be that simple, especially when DZ hit you with a very well-coordinated push from multiple different sides. DZ now only 1 round away from guaranteeing some points. Of course, the points, not the big deal inside of this game. DZ pretty locked into that second place spot. They're not going to be able to overtake SR and regain the first place seed that they have held for what feels like the entirety of the stage at this point.
Okay, so round 1 was 1 minute and 22 seconds. That DZ round was 1 minute 13 from beginning to end.
Yeah. Which is lightning quick.
Yeah.
When you're talking about top level siege.
Yeah, and that included the full plan and everything. I know nobody cared, but I did, so you're welcome. C4 goes out. Oh, just a little short. Damages Nath, though. He'll be content with that. This is a classic right here. Oh, not a classic, unfortunately. It's just Fultz. So, I mean, it is a classic, but just pre-place the C4, throws it, and unfortunately, Darkzero not ready for it. Well, these rounds are kind of crazy. What is happening? Been 3 basically flawless rounds in a row.
It's blink and you miss it stuff right now.
Literally. I'm like, okay, I can like talk about this. Surely the round will be normal. Then Darkzero just like, hey, you know how you're talking about like what the 2 quickest rounds are? That is now the quickest round of the game. It ended in 59 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I don't enjoy speedrunning rounds, but if that's what you want to do, go for it.
I mean, you know, they're making our job easy for us in a way, because even though we missed it, it's just like, oh, what was that attack? Monty trying to go in East door, guy covering from vent, guy on rappel watching his back. That's like the classic office side direct.
I think if you're going to try and pull that off from DZ's perspective, you've got to anticipate the C4, and you have to Thatcher it, or you have to EMP it.
They did try to be fair. like NGR threw 2 EMPs and somehow he still got C forward. Maybe the EMP was like a second late.
The EMP is not as good as the Thatcher either. Like, you kind of, I think you kind of have to full commit to the actual Thatcher EMP. Bring out the...
No, it was the Thatcher EMP.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I know, I literally...
See, that's how quick the round was.
No,
I
that's
couldn't
what
even
I'm
tell
saying.
you who was
Like...
playing. Like, I know we had a Monty. And somebody with a C4.
See, but you know what's funny? The reason I knew they had a Thatcher was because when they were looking out the window, I see the guy on rappel get shot by the AR-15, and I'm like, oh, that was Thatcher. That just died.
Right.
So yeah, I think it was just like a slight mistiming, unfortunately, between the EMPs and the C4, which happens. But ends up being a costly mistake. Well, it's been quite a close game. That's a ludicrous spawn peek from J9O, just even attempting that with the SMG-11. Oh my god, if I see another smoke on East stairs, I'm gonna vomit.
This is just an NJR cosplay right now. He's literally pretending to be the man himself. The East Stairs King.
Big fan
Okay,
of
we've
the
got a player inside a CC. Ashen.
Of course.
Who else?
The big dog.
Deal with him. He's loose at the moment. Ooh, the mirror window's open as well. I mean, the thing is about Ashen, he's like, whenever I watch his POV, it's like he's constantly asking for it. He's constantly looking to get put into a fight. Will they be successful this time, or will SSG just flock to his aid as they previously had? Citizen's going to be knocking on the door right now of CCTV. Another drone to go through and figure out just exactly where it is that Ashen is playing. It's been called. In rotate. This time, a little bit more belt and braces. They are prepared for what is happening inside of Armory, and they're going to send Util in to try and deal with that. Success has been made. They have taken control of Armory now.
It's so simple. Caveat bolts. Smoke. Clear it out. Problem is, Ashen is still up here. J9O also still up here. Oh my lord. Benjo with the C4. What is happening in these rounds? Ollie and I are trying to do setup, and then 3 gunfights happen. Spirits get shot in the back by Foltz. And the round's just over. Ashen's really letting it loose. Big Dog is 5 and 8, and he is barking. NGR get one? No, sadly not. Match point for SSG. Again, this is not for any playoff stakes. Darkzero are in the top 2 no matter what. But I can tell you, if any game was for ego, boy, is it this one.
Fun fact time. DZ have only been successful on 1 attack tonight. It is only fair that we bring it up. We've credited them throughout the stage for having a very good attacking win percentage. However, it is dwindling as these rounds tick on by. It's a small sample size, and we gave you that at the top of the show, or the top of this game at least. But it's a consistent theme. And DZ have been struggling tonight on these attacks. And, in fact, the rest of this Super Week, the previous 2 play days, for a team that has been so good at attack, you kind of scratch your head a little bit and start to wonder, what is it that's really been slowing them down over this Super Week? And the only conclusion that I can draw at the moment is that they are up against a higher quality of opponent.
And I gotta say, that too, not just like higher quality opponent.
10 seconds left.
Another thing, we mentioned 2 things. The weakness on attacks that we weren't saying was definite, but was something we were concerned about. And the numbers at least bore that out a little bit. But also the weakness on the opening duels, on the attacking side and somewhat generally, but mainly on the attack. This game, only 4 opening kills for Darkzero. The bulk of them coming on their defenses. Whereas yesterday in Shopify's game, they only got 1 attack on, or 1 opening pick on their attack. It's the same thing so far. The one time they got an opening pick was that flawless round they won on Vent. Everything else has been an SSG 5v4, and SSG are also one of the best entry teams in North America, don't get me wrong. That is actually brilliant. Oh my god, that's genius.
That might be the new way to open up Passport.
Holy shit, that's... Dude.
They have seriously cooked with that.
If you're tapped out and missed that, they just roar-doored Passport double to destroy the reinforcement on the opposite side because it was electrified. That is actually genius. That is unbelievable tech.
I mean, even if it isn't electrified, it's probably a better way of opening it just because of how much you get open and how little you have to expose. Nate's having a bit of a stinker this game. 4 and 9. Benjamaster pretty quiet as well. Both those players out inside of the first half. Again, this CCTV area, it's been the bane of Darkzero's existence on the attack. They've really struggled to clear it out. And it's surprising because there is Noah's army. There's no castle that's been brought. It isn't something that SSG are wanting to try and do. They are just holding it through sheer presence alone. DZ's still looking for an entry. There's a chance right now on a real long angle. It's going to be NJR, who on the contrary to the other names that I mentioned, is having a pretty good pop-off.
He is. Him and Spirits too, both 11 and 8. If you're on a fantasy team in this lobby, you're actually not doing well. Pamazu, Nave, and Benja. All a bit worse for wear. Spirits ready to open up this Aurora door. In he goes. Player flirting in and out with 90. Ashen finds one, but good trade from Spirits. Might be flashed, but was able to get a very nice bit of impact. Unfortunately, that Citizen goes down. It's looking to be a close affair in round 12, but as the time gets lower, it's only going to favor Newers and J90, who are starting to move into off positions. Looking to try and catch DZ off guard. 3 drones up, but I don't think either Pamazu or Spirits have one active in their possession. Utility's good. You still got roar doors to try to block off any angles if you want to go in for a plant. Nades as well. You could save those for the post even if you're ballsy enough to think you can get a plant down or confident enough. But Janino and Newers set up this crossfire. C4-2. All of this utility and all the time favors the defense. Oh, but the first shot goes wide. Barely even enough damage to write home about, but there's what matters. DMR shots in, C4 for the finish. Not if Pamazu's got anything to say about it. Just 3 seconds remaining. Oh! But it's a beautiful double for J90 to finish primary and secondary. The MVP in my book of that game. SSG deal DZ another loss at the end of the stage.
Who better to close that out than J90? We had huge impact inside of round number 2 of this game, way back at the start with a massive 1 versus 3. And he's going to close it out in the last round as well. A close game between Spacestation and Darkzero. Not easy to decide who was on top through the majority of it. And a lot of clutches to come out. A heck of a lot of multi-kills. 6 multi-kills in 1 game. I mean, it's a classic map of border, isn't it? That's us done for the evening. We're going to throw you back to the desk for one last time, and they are going to let you know exactly how this breaks down into our playoffs starting next week.
And with that, SSG managed to deliver Darkzero their 2nd loss of the stage and move into 3rd place while doing so. Big win to close out the group stage heading into playoffs. We've got Fultz here with us now to talk this one over. Fultz, the shirtless look during the game.
What?
You put one on now
robbed.
for the interview, which is a shame. We were hiding the traps now. Devastating.
I was pointing those out.
I know.
You've been working those.
Going in, I mean, is that part of this team chemistry you guys have been building, going shirtless just to get that energy up?
Yeah, we feel like we really just wanted to let loose and mog these dudes today. So we just threw the game plan out the window. Went out there, had fun, took the tarps off, went out there and hammered them. It was a good time. But yeah, unfortunately production wanted me to throw it back on for the interview, or else it'll still been popped for you guys, but it was a fun time.
Thanks, production.
That makes sense, I guess. Like we gotta be serious. We can't just have you just looking so sexy on the desk. But you guys locked yourselves into top 3. You're gonna be playing against Wildcard. I mean, is that the team that you were preferring to play against as opposed to Wildcard or OXG? Does it not matter? I think I already know your answer, but just let us know what you're looking forward to in the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't think anybody on our team knew who we were gonna play if we won or lost. We just wanted to go out and win. And then either of those teams is cool with me. I think we're better than any team in the league if we play up to our standard. And it felt good today to kind of just go out and let loose and just kind of get a dub under our belt before going into next week.
Well, talking about up to standard, something that me and Fox has been heavily noting is that you guys are kind of adopting more of a passive play style, not necessarily taken away from the aggression that we're used to and love seeing from you guys, but it definitely seems like towards the end of this stage, you've kind of gone back a little bit of just slowing it down and not being so in your face, where I think it really started from that SR game and kind of has trickled from there. Just kind of curious and have you elaborate more on that.
Yeah, the end goal for our team is to be able to play like all styles, depending on who we were playing or the map we're playing or what we think's best like for that team or scenario. So we're kind of just trying to get all of those different styles under our belt. So that's really, I guess, my answer is we want to be good at all of them, but we show better. We have better looks looking fast some days and better looks looking slow. We're just trying to piece it all together.
For sure.
All right, Vaults, congrats again on the win to end the stage. Big win over Darkzero, who obviously were looking strong. Now you guys take that win to close it out. Congrats, we'll see you down the line for the playoffs.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right, thanks, Vaults. Darkzero lose, SSG, big win for them heading into playoffs, getting that momentum. I've got a question, though. Do you think this is better that Darkzero took this loss so that maybe they see some gaps that they can improve upon before we get to playoffs?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot from the games that they're losing here. I mean, you go to border 3 times now. You won it 2 times. You lost it this time. I don't think there's too much that they're really going to dive into. Again, your biggest losses came off of 7-5s, where it really came down to rounds just you maybe lost a gunfight, you overplayed your step. But again, I think DZ, it is important to realize what you can possibly take from these losses, but that's the biggest thing where best of 3s provide. That is, you shake it off, you focus on the next game, and that's where we're going to see all of these teams go into these playoffs, is to see if they can, either start out super strong or correct their wrongs going into the next map.
Yeah, you have to lose to be able to improve, but when it comes to the side of Darkzero, I'm a little worried for them losing because just in the same way that it should have been a statement game for SSG, it's going to be good vibes going into playoffs. I feel like it meant a lot more for Darkzero to end on a win and just have it locked out that them and SR are top 2. SR just beat them by 7-5 on the day. But now, like we talked about, even before the DZ-SR game, we could find ourselves in a rock, paper, scissors situation where it's not necessarily a top 2 teams. If things went differently for SSG at the start of the stage, maybe we would have seen them take second if this matchup was a little closer in points. So I think it stresses me out if you're a Darkzero fan going into playoffs because there's something to look at. Maybe they have got their confident hit a little bit, and that's where we're going to see those aggressive plays that we were praising them so heavily for kind of start to dwindle off.
Yeah, those back-to-back losses definitely does leave a sour taste in your mouth heading into the most important part of the stage. But our final day of the Super Week here wrapped up. We'll take a look back as to how exactly this one played out. A pretty big day overall. As we said, that 3rd and 4th matchup were going to be the deciding moment, that 6th and final spot. But I don't think it's insignificant, Lax, that we saw Cruelty take that 9th place spot and replace Envy there in that spot. I don't think it's insignificant either that SSG managed to get that win.
I mean, I'm glad that we didn't see anyone roll over. And again, for Cruelty, we talked to Fatal. I was glad to see him smiling. There's a lot to take from everyone that didn't make playoffs. Has a lot to learn, a lot to take from. And again, that wild card game, that was a big one that we were really looking at, especially after the implications got washed because Cloud9 just couldn't muster out that win in time in a convincing fashion of getting that 7-2 needed. But wild card, that was the most impressive game. That was the statement game that we said that we needed, and they did it very well.
Yeah, you said nobody rolled over, but LFO kind of got steamrolled.
Sure.
They didn't roll over, but Wildcard definitely put up an amazing job. They earned that 6th place spot, and hopefully we can see the consistency from them come through because they had ups and down issues all around the board, and maybe, who knows, maybe they'll be able to all group up in that team house to sync things up. I mean, we saw how good it's looked for OXG so far. Maybe Wildcard can find that one more piece to that puzzle, but like Spiker said today, the pieces were all clicking. Playoffs is going to be more important, better quality teams. You're not going to be able to have enough room for error.
Oh, that brings us to our blacklight detail of the day. For 2 days in a row, it is this man right here. It is Ambi who made another fantastic showing. Not a specific play, Lax, but the overall performance on the game. 20 kills to his name.
I mean, I think, what did someone say? Ambi Rebellion online? I believe that's what someone said.
Ambify Rebellion.
That's what it is, Ambify Rebellion. Yeah, I mean, Ambi has just been an absolute menace. Yesterday, we highlighted him and how well he was in that one play in round 7 with Amaru, and then just the entire game through and through, he was just performing, putting up 20 kills. I mean, he is an animal. He's 19 years old. He is the youngest player within this league, and he is just dominant on every single front. I don't even think he's at his peak performance yet. He only gets better and better as time has gone on, and it makes perfect sense as to why he's taking the blacklight detail for today.
Yeah, and since joining Shopify Rebellion, we've been able to see him have a little bit more discipline instilled. In all those clips that we saw, he'll get 1 kill or 2 kill that's fed into him, and then he's not instantly swinging to go get more. He still got 20 kills with doing his job and playing his role. He didn't overextend. And so that, without going and just trying to kill the whole team on your own, that's impressive nonetheless, that you're just getting the shots of the kills that are coming to you, and Shopify Rebellion is sending all of the players his way, and he's not missing.
Well, part of the top 2 at the very top of our standings as we head into the playoffs. A final look as things come to a close here, Fox. Obviously, the top 2, as we talked about, they've been locked in for a while. Wildcard, our newest addition to this lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think starting out the season, everybody was kind of already predicting the top 4 would be the top 4. I think 5th through 7th is definitely a little back and forth. Anybody could have claimed those spots. I think the most disheartening one for me obviously has to be Envy. That was the one thing that they wanted to not be, is last, finishing out this stage, and they find themselves there after a big loss against Cruelty today.
I think without the placings being involved, I think this is the top 6 that I would have already just suggested was going to happen, especially now for Wildcard being at the bottom. I maybe would not, if we're looking at it, I wouldn't have seen Wildcard at the bottom going into the stage just based off their performance at Reload. But I would say